Hi and welcome to another edition of Mini Bites. Today I want to look at a very serious subject. I want to look at depression and how can Christianity help you if you're in depression. So one of the problems of society today is that we're really presented with these models of how we should be and how we need to live up to on TV, on the media, but also now so much on social media. And so we have this picture that is presented to us that this is the person that we should be. Life today is so much focused on the individual, on you, saying, you know, that you should be doing this, you should have this, you should be getting this. You know, your life should be ending up in this way. You should be married, you should be happy, you should have children, you should, whatever the situation, you should have all the latest gadgets, you should have the latest phone. So life is sort of saying that you need to be the person that has all these things. So the other thing there is that you see, when you look at social media, you're seeing all your friends, you're seeing everyone else is successful, everyone else is happy. So life is sort of painting this picture of this perfect person, having a perfect life, looking great, the perfect job, the perfect husband or partner, and everything perfect. And then you look at yourself and that isn't how your life is. And to be honest, it's not how anyone's life is. You know, what people portray on social media, what is portrayed on movies, it's not how people's life really is. And so very often people are depressed because they are not the person that they think they need to be. Of course, there's many other reasons, circumstances that lead to depression. Isolation that leads to depression. Many things in life can bring you into that place where you can get into a deeper depression and become, well, really clinically depressed. So how is Christianity helpful for that? How can Christianity be a solution? Well, you know, one of the things that Jesus said was that he had come to give you life and life abundant, you know, life to the full. So what does that mean? Why is Jesus saying that he can give you life to the full? Let me explain it this way. What we do is we go through life portraying this fake person and not really living our true self, not being ourselves, not really living the life that we should. And Jesus is the one that can break that cycle and allow you to live the life that God intended in relationship with him. When you come to commit your life to Christ and when you become a Christian, a true Christian, an exchange happens. I mean, yes, of course, it's an exchange about sin. It's about us turning away from our sin and turning to Christ. But we learn to live not for ourselves anymore. It's not all about me. It's not all about us. And when you take that focus off yourself and start to look outward and you start to live for something other than just for yourself, because we're taught from an early age it's all about number one, look after number one, it's all about you. But this is a road to disaster. And when you learn that God's way for you is to live for others, and that it's not all about what can I get, what's in it for me, you can learn to really find yourself and live a life that is so much more fulfilling. Now, that's sort of not looking at the real problem. The problem is sin. So the problem is however good you try and be, however good you try and appear to other people, deep down you know that you're not that person, that you are actually sinful, and that you do things wrong, and in secret you do things wrong, and therefore you probably deep down feel guilty about the way you are and the way you treat other people maybe. So what does it mean to be a Christian? It means to realize, just to realize that you are sinful. No matter how good you try to be, actually, you are so sinful in the eyes of God, a perfect, holy God. And when you realize that there's nothing you can do, doesn't matter how hard you fight, how hard you battle, whatever you try to do, how good you try to be, how perfect you try to be, how special, and you try to portray this to friends and people that aren't really friends. It's only when you realize actually you're sinful, and actually in yourself there's nothing you can do. You need God. And Jesus died on the cross so that he could once and for all pay the price for your sin. So when you realize that you're sinful, and you realize that this Jesus has died for you, he loves you so much that he was willing to give his life for you. Greater love hath no man, greater love that hath no man, than he would lay his life down for his fellow, for his friend. Jesus has laid his life down for you so that you can have a new life, a life where you will live to the full. And it's not a life all about yourself. It's a life where you're giving, where you're caring for other people. It's a life when you're looking out instead of looking in. So, if you're willing to realize that you're sinful and repent means say sorry to God and change. I realize that I'm sinful. I am changing, and I'm going to live my life for you, Lord. So you repent. You're willing to change. Repent means to turn around, turn away, sorry, and completely change direction, the opposite direction. Live your life for God. Accept the great gift that Christ has given you on the cross. Say thank you to God that he has paid the price, taken the punishment that you deserve for your sin. And then live your life for Christ. I promise you that when you let go of the world and live your life for Christ, then God will overcome your depression. Now, can you be a Christian and be depressed? Yes, you can be. Absolutely you can, but it's really because the world says it's all about you. You should be having this, you should be having this, you should be here, you should have achieved this, you should be doing this. But when you stop living for yourself and you live all for Christ, everything you do is for God. And then you can completely defeat depression. And you can live a life full of joy because you live that life that Jesus was saying, the abundant life, life to the full, because you're living for him and not for yourself. Okay, I'd love to take any questions you might have if you leave them in the comments underneath. And if you want to talk to me more about this, then contact me by email. I have left my email on one of the videos. If not, it's Keith Mason, KEITH MASON 92@yahoo.com. I'd love to talk to you if you would like to talk on this subject. If you are suffering from depression and you'd like some advice or some help. But God is a God of miracles, and when you turn your life over to him, I can promise you and guarantee you that he will never let you go. So he's a friend who will never let you down. It's never based on your performance, how much you love him. It's because he first loved you. And he will never leave you or forsake you. That's a guarantee. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Mini Bites, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.